There are stories that whisper, and then there are stories that roar. Memories of a Trans by Pamela B is a roar. It is an unflinching descent into the most intimate corners of memory, a journey not for the faint of heart. This is not a tale of victimhood, but a testament to the relentless sacred act of becoming. Pamela's narrative plunges into the darkness without apology. The abuse, the shame, the systemic violence endured in silence are laid bare with devastating clarity. Yet, through every harrowing detail, a profound truth emerges. This is a story of reclaiming a self long denied. Witness the arduous evolution from Luca to Pamela, a transformation born not of surgery or legal decree. It is forged in the desperate sacred need to reclaim an identity that society sought to erase. The trauma is overwhelming, but never voyeuristic. Pamela's writing maintains a raw dignity, choosing expression over exploitation, depth over sensationalism. She is not a flawless heroine, but a real person, complex, contradictory, often lost, yet always striving. Her experiences, her destructive relationships, her addictions are told without self-pity. At its heart, this is a psychological memoir, an emotional architecture built from the ground up. Each chapter is a descent into a different stratum: guilt, fear, abandonment, but also resilience, longing, and a deep hunger for love. The narrative doesn't just describe trauma, it immerses you, pressing you against the raw walls of memory. Pamela's early experiences with sexual violence are depicted with disarming honesty. There is no filter, no euphemism, only the naked horror of a child's agency torn away. The most devastating truth is the normalization of this pain, how abuse metastasizes across years and identities. This legacy of violation shapes every aspect of Pamela's psychological development. Her body becomes both an enemy and a currency, sex a battlefield. The tension between desire and danger, affection and abuse, is a recurring, agonizing motif. What began as violence becomes ritual. Suffering becomes performance. Yet, she never loses sight of the inner child, still searching for pure, unconditional love. Pamela writes from within the wound, but always with agency. Her recollections are not confessions. They are confrontations. She turns her gaze inward with the precision of someone who became her own analyst, her own judge, and ultimately her own savior. In doing so, she transforms shame into narrative power. There is something profoundly transgressive and healing in her honesty. By showing us the ugly, unspoken truths of trauma, Pamela reclaims control over the narrative others tried to write for her. This reclamation, however painful, is an act of profound resistance. Pamela's sense of self is shaped through external conflict. Her transformation is not linear, but a daily negotiation between inner truth and outer rejection. Her relationship with mirrors, real and metaphorical, becomes central. She dances for herself, dresses for survival, undresses for money, and cries for the girl she knows she is. These acts, seemingly mundane, are charged with existential weight. Even in her darkest chapters, she allows us to laugh, not because the pain isn't real, but because survival sometimes depends on absurdity. The cultural context of the 70s, 80s, and 90s is not mere scenery, it is a lifeline. Music, fashion, and cinema become psychological anchors, helping her construct identity in a world constantly trying to erase her. Cultural icons become family, rhythm becomes therapy, and dance becomes declaration. Pamela's profound empathy extends beyond humanity. Her decision to donate royalties to animal rescue speaks volumes. Animals, like marginalized people, are often abandoned, mistreated, silenced. She sees them because she was once one of them. Memories of a Trans is not a light read, nor should it be. It is raw, erotic, violent, funny, poetic, and above all, real. It doesn't aim to please, it aims to exist. In doing so, it gives voice to countless others still living in the shadows. This book doesn't ask for your approval. It demands your attention, and it earns it. If literature is meant to reveal truth, not sanitized, not mediated, but lived truth, then Pamela B has given us a masterpiece of emotional and psychological revelation.
I am Pamela, a woman of voice, who turned her silence into a choice. And when I close my eyes to the dark, I still see sparks. I still feel my